Have you ever wanted to make and publish your very own video game? Well, in this 3 or 4 part tutorial series, I will be showing you how to make your very own video game, the one that you see on screen, that you can publish and have thousands or even millions of people play, and you could even make some money off of it. As you can see, the game is pretty simple. You are a slime character. You can choose your character though, and you have to dodge these rockets, and there's a score in the top left corner. We're going to be using the Unity game engine for this, which I will talk about a little more later, and we are also going to be using Visual Studio to code. I'll put both download links in the description. And just to put it out there, this is not for people who have used Unity before. At least this video isn't, so I would recommend skipping to the next video if you already know how to use Unity. This is for absolute beginners who have never ever even touched game development before, or have never coded. So when you open up the Unity editor, it should look like this, but I'm going to be talking about a bit more about that later. Right now I'm going to show you how to make the art for the game. So you can kind of move around using just the scroll wheel. You can hold it down and move and drag to zoom in and out. But yeah, so we're going to go into character creation first, and then we're going to be talking about more about the game engine. So how I'm going to use to make my characters is this app called PascalApp.com. So you can see it's right here. So you just go into your browser, search that up, and it should work just fine. So as you can see, there's a sign in and a create sprite, but down here there's a little notice, and it looks like there's no more account systems. So we're just going to go straight to create sprite. So what you do when you're in, you start with this pen tool, and you can just use your left mouse button or your primary mouse button to just move it around and draw. So yeah, you can make simple shapes by clicking on the eraser tool or using E in the left panel. You can erase whatever you draw, and yeah, so pretty simple system. You can see there's some other tools as well though, like the rectangle tool, where you can just create simple rectangles, the circle tool, create some circles or ovals. It's really cool how this one works, because it really saves time to make a perfect circle like that, because circles are really hard to do with pixel art. And then you can use the move tool to move things around. If you'd like to move one object around, you can create layers, and I will show you how to do that in a moment. But you can see we're going to go ahead and erase this. And if I just would want to move this tool, I'm going to put that in the middle. I would have to create a new layer, not a frame. I don't want to create a frame. I'll talk about that later. We want to create a layer, so you can just click right there to delete the frame. Yeah, we don't want that frame. So now right here where it says layers, you're just going to click that little plus button, and you have added in a layer. As you can see, your circle is turned transparent, but if I make a rectangle here, I can just move the rectangle. And though the circle looks transparent, if you switch between layers using this thing on the right side, that's what it looks like when you're going to export it. So it just shows you what layer you're on. It's not really going to look like that. But yeah, that's just if you want to move separate objects around. It's great for eyes, because you don't have to erase everything and move it around. You can just move the eyes separately. So yeah, I personally don't really use the layer system because I don't go that deep into pixel art. I can't say I'm that good of an artist, so I really just kind of stick pretty simple and do some basic things and just erase and draw to do my animation. And I recommend that for beginners unless you have any background in pixel art. But as you can see, now I need to create a layer, so I'm just gonna, you saw that I duplicated that layer. You can go back and see how I did it. You just click that button right there. And then what you can do on the next frame, it shows all your frames. I have 3 frames right now. You can create animation. So I just wanted to make a weird little animation of the ball kind of squishing weirdly. And you can see that's what it looks like in real time. You can see it's kind of fast, but you can actually change that within Unity. If you want to make it longer though, you can either duplicate the frame or change the frame rate. For more control, I like to duplicate the frame because the frame rate doesn't do anything to Unity, but this does, adding this, but it's a lot more messy. And I always make them really fast and make them slow in Unity. You can see there's also a selection tool to select certain objects, and yeah, so there's a couple selection tools. this magic select. It's just to select certain areas if you ever need to select them, just to use the transform tool on the right panel. But anyways, if we go ahead down here, and I'm going to change that color to green, you can see we have a green pen right now. So that is really cool. And if we want to change it back to black, you can use your color picker, click on the black, and then we're back to black. So the color picker, I think that's, I don't know what button means, guys. But there is a button. If you just hover over it, then you'll see it. And yeah, so to export something, you're just gonna click that little export button down here. You can do a sprite sheet file export. That's what I always do if you're doing animation or not. But once you have it exported, which I have some models exported, you just drag them right on into Unity. And the game engine, once again, you can just drag things with your primary mouse button. But you can see it's pretty small. So I have a platform, rocket, and that's animation. And so that's why you see multiple. And then I have a slime, but I'm not really going to be animating the slime at all. I made the animation just in case, but just to kind of save time for the tutorial, I'm going to do that. So you see if I drag it in, to make it bigger, I just click on the scale tool up here and just drag that white box. But you can see there's one problem. It is very blurry. So I'm going to delete that by clicking the delete key. And I want to edit this. So if I just click on it in the editor, and the editor is, you want to make sure you're in the project tab. But I just want to change it from filter mode to build liner to point no filter, and Mitchell to build liner. Then we're just going to click apply. And the build liner kind of smooths things out. That's why it looks blurry. But for a resize algorithm, we want it to be smoothed out so it's not so harsh. And it blends better. So here's what it looks like now. You can see it's a lot more crisp. And yeah, so we have our platform in. The next thing we'll be doing is we're gonna do the slime or the rocket. We can see if we just click that panel, we have that down there. We can see another version, and that's mainly if you're doing animations. But right now I'm just gonna change my slime character to point no filter and build liner and apply. And if I drag that in, it should work. But you can see it drags all of them in. If I just want to do one, I can click on the sprite editor. I will go on animating for the next one. This one you would normally animate because it's a sprite sheet, not just a sprite. So you want to change the sprite mode to single for multiple. And then you're going to just click apply. So now they're multiple. And then if I go to the sprite editor right here, just click on that. You can see it opens up a thing where you can see all your sprites. And to make it, you can just go to the slice tab right here and do automatic. You can click different ones, but automatic is the easiest. It just automatically does it. If you space things out, it automatically cuts them for you. So now we have all these different guys. I'm gonna move it back to original point. Okay, I can just click Control C to go back. And you see we have each single sprite that is separate. So now we can click apply. And now I can pick one of the sprites. For animation, you're going to also pick one. I'll show you how to animate with the rocket. I don't know if I'll get it to it in this video, but probably the next one. So I'm going to scale that up now by clicking on the scale tool. And you can go through all the tools right here. There's a move tool right here if you want to move it. And yeah, there's keyboard shortcuts. I personally don't use them. But yeah, if we just click the play button right here up there, you can see that it starts the game. We have a blue background, but nothing's really happening right now. So to make some sort of thing happen, we're not going to go too in depth into making the actual game. That's more for next video. But just to make things kind of work a little bit better, you see our hierarchies right there. So whatever we click is that. But we're going to click on this add component. We want to make sure we're clicking on our box. And I'm just going to search box collider. And then we want to make sure it's 2D. For a 3D game, we're going to click on regular box slider. But for a 2D game, we're going to click on this box slider. You can see it's huge because the sprite is actually bigger than it is. So to make it down, I just click on that little tool down there and I can drag. And if I am going too fast for you, feel free to pause the video and go back. but yeah, I can just scale it to a certain size that I like, and that looks, I think that fits it, that green box. So now if I click on that character, I need to add a box slider to it too, so it actually collides. And you can also find the box slider, I believe, in, I think it's Physics 2D. Yeah, right there, box slider 2D. So there's a couple ways of finding it, but I like to search because it's a lot easier. And since we use the sprite editor, it's perfectly on point with this. So now, if we play the game, you will still see that nothing happens. And that is because we have no physics. Besides the box slider, there's no other physics. So I'm going to go back into Physics 2D, and I want to find Rigid Body 2D. Okay, there it is. You're going to click on Rigid Body 2D. You can obviously also search it, and you can see it brings up all these settings. Both of them bring up quite a lot of settings, but we don't need to touch them. If we just press play, you can see our character collides with that and drops to the ground. If we were to make it higher, it would drop from that height. It's pretty much adding physics. If there was no box collider on the ground, now if I turn that off, this is what would happen. He would fall right on through the platform. So we want to make sure that we have a box collider 2D on both of them and they're the right size, because if it was too big, he could kind of glitch through or something. We want to make sure they're the right size. Anyways, that was it for today's video. Next video, we're going to actually start coding. So that's going to be really fun to teach and really fun to see what you guys do with it, because this is your game now. This you can do whatever you want with this game. You can make it bigger than just this. You can make the characters different. You can make the score system different. You can even make skin unlockables. I won't be going through this in this tutorial because it can get a little more advanced than just a basic game like this. But yeah, it's just cool that you made your own game, and don't think about it that it's not as good as some games. Think about it that you made this game. They have big companies and stuff, but you made this game all by yourself, and you are one step further. Anyways, I'll see you in the next tutorial, and thanks for watching, and thanks for getting into coding.